Welcome to the Groomsmen podcast. It's your boy Kenny, the CEO of the Groomsmen Barbershop. We're going to be talking about barbers, business, and bullshit. Stay tuned with us. We're giving you the keys and the tools you need to succeed in the barber and business industry.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Kenny, the barber from the Groomsmen podcast, where we talk about barbers, business, and bullshit. Got my boy KB Jose.
Yeah.
We got Thomas. We got Boogie. Yo, let's talk to him, man. So let's start with you, Thomas. Where are you coming from?
So we're coming out of Orlando, Florida. We
Talking
are
to the mic, yeah.
my bad.
To the mic.
All right. We're coming out of Orlando, Florida. We are OrlandoSMP Academy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we're in an SMP Academy in Orlando. One of the first in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
So we've been doing this for a while. We're one of the pioneers of the whole education of SMP. So, you know, it's been amazing. And a couple years ago, I linked up with Boogie.
Yeah.
And he brought the barber aspect into things. Because
Okay,
we saw that barbering and the SMP was synonymous with each other.
Yo, that's what's up. SMP is taking off too, man.
It really is.
The business is SMP. So let's educate ourselves a little bit on that, man. How much are the classes?
Well, the classes right now, we're running a special. We typically charge $4,500. That includes a full kit with a wireless machine. And not only that, you'll get continuous education at no cost from us, which will continue afterwards. But it's a 3-day course. After the 3 days, you're a Florida licensed tattoo practitioner, or with whatever state you are that requires it, we'll help you get that.
Okay.
And Thomas here is a genius, a marketing genius. So we have a portion of the class where he teaches you how to market yourself on social media and actually take what we taught you and turn it into an actual thriving business.
That's amazing. So what exactly comes in that kit? You said it's 2 wireless guns, and what else?
Well, 1 wireless gun.
Yeah, you get a wireless gun with the latest technology. And the important thing about the gun, I'll get a little technical, it's the perfect stroke for SMP. So when it comes to tattoo machines, now they're wireless and they all pretty much look the same, but the stroke really makes the difference.
Okay.
And then everything we use in-house is included. So the pigments we use in-house, the needles, even the small hand tools.
And you provide all that? That's all included in the kit
Everything
for
is
the 3 days?
included. Yes, correct.
That's amazing. For $4,500, you said?
Well, yeah, we're doing a special right now for $35. So
Oh, for $30,000.
$1,000
yeah,
off. Better.
and we offer
Unheard of.
financing if somebody needs financing.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you guys provide financing too.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's a big
Yeah.
deal.
We're trying to bring that to the table at the Groomsmen Barbershop. We have somebody that does SMP, Carlitos.
Nice.
So we're trying to implement that in our brand as well, because we see the fruits of it. Bro. It's
Right.
definitely taking off.
I mean, like me, listen, I'm a 32-year barber veteran. I started cutting hair in 1991 when I was 11 years old. And, cut hair for the neighborhood, my little brother, and it just began to gradually grow. I didn't know it was the direction I was going to take in my life. Got into the barbershop world in 2001 and just started growing as a barber. In 2008, my life was changed. I try to tell barbers all the time, invest in yourself, invest in your craft, and invest in your clientele. And scalp micropigmentation is probably one of the best, it is the best investment as a barber you can put into your repertoire to excel what you do. And as far as, treating all your clients as if you don't know which is the one that's going to actually change your life, because every barber is going to have that one client that's going to change their life.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And for me in 2008, I received a phone call from one of my clients who, his name was Big Earl. He used to be one of Big Pun's managers. And, after Big Pun died, he started helping promote for a lot of other rappers and people that were in the music industry. So at that time, Ron Artest started rapping, and he actually became one of his promoters. And I got a call one day that Ron Artest needed a haircut. And, at this time, I had never cut a basketball player. I was cutting a lot of people and, huge clientele, but just wasn't part of the celebrity world yet, or the athletes.
Yeah.
So I go to cut his hair. It's probably about 8:30 in the morning on a Sunday morning. And my newborn baby, I had a daughter that was just 2 weeks old. And me, my daughter, and my wife drove over to this resort in Disney, like an hour and 20 minutes away from my house. And I get to the house and I'm knocking on the door for like 45 minutes. in that hot August Florida sun.
Yeah.
The heat was
bro.
crazy. 101 degrees, felt like 110.
Yeah.
Nobody ever answered. So I left, drove an hour and 20 minutes back home, pretty pissed off and upset. You know, like, man, how they gonna call me out here to do this cut? Buddy don't even answer the door. And chilled the whole day with my family, just tried not to think much about it. I get another phone call at 10 o'clock at night. Big Earl's like, yo, Ron Artest said he still needs you to come through and cut his hair. If you could do that he's sorry about earlier. And I'm like, man, bro, like an hour and 20 minutes back over there again? He's like, yo, he said he'll compensate you. I was like, yo, you know what? I'll let you know. Give me a minute. And I hung up the phone and I thought about it. And this is that moment where as barbers, we got to learn sometimes you got to just tuck that pride, because a lot of us walk around with so much pride and somewhat arrogance because of how we control our chair and our time and our money. So it was one of those moments where I felt, you know what, Boog, just go cut the man's hair. You know, maybe it was a little bit of status is why I actually went and did it, because normally I'd be like, nah, I'm good, you know?
Yeah.
So I tucked my pride and I drove out there, you know? My sister was with me and her boyfriend. They were younger at the time, but they would come hang out at the crib. And we drive all the way back out there. And, you know, I go knocking on the door again, and he answers the door, and he's like, yo, how you doing? I'm Ron Artest. Sorry about earlier. Can you come on in? Let's politic before you cut my hair. Let's just chill and vibe. I'm like, all right, you know, like, dude, you just had me waiting around all morning in the heat with my newborn baby, but whatever.
Tight.
And we start talking. And as we get to talking, man, I realized this dude right here he cut from a different cloth, man.
Yeah.
This a good dude.
Yeah.
This a funny dude. This a real dude, you know? And my little sister and her boyfriend are in awe because they was huge NBA fans. You know, I knew who he was because of the Malice in the Palace. But other than that, I didn't know much about him. And as we're talking and piling, it's already getting to be like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And I see this little shadow coming from the back room. All these kids was jumping and flipping around the resort room, right? And I was like, oh yeah, so you know what you doing out here? He's like, yo, I brought my son's basketball team because they won the championship, so I took them all to Disney World, right? So I see all these kids, and then I see this little tiny shadow coming from the back room, and she walks up to him, and it's his little 6-year-old daughter. Her name was Diamond. At the time, she was 6, and she had like little scraggly hair missing, you know. And he said, I'm sorry about earlier, man. I apologize. You know, Disney came knocking on the door, and they surprised us with like a behind the scenes VIP tour of Disney World because they heard my daughter's condition. She's fighting cancer. You know, and it was like a ton of bricks fell on me, because here I am bitching and complaining about how hot it is with my 2-week-old daughter just having my first kid. And here's this man trying to hand his daughter the world that's fighting for her life.
Yeah. Damn.
So I had a moment where I reflected on myself, who I was as a person, who I was as a barber, you know, who I was gonna be as a father.
Yeah.
You know, and my heart poured out to him because it was just so real that through all of that, he still remembered to say, yo, hit the same dude up to come back and cut my hair.
Yeah.
It still was in his mind, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my sister is a hairstylist, so she saw some weave over there, and she was like, yo, whose weave is that? And he goes, oh, that belonged to the stylist. She didn't want to come back, right? Like, they left her hanging too.
Oh, yeah.
So my sister's like, yo, I could braid her hair and put all the extensions in her hair and make it look awesome. So our test is like, oh, snap. So she goes over there and does that. I go over, it's about time to cut his hair. And I'm like, so, you know, what you want to get done? And he's like, yeah, just let me get an edge up. I'm like, bro, I know I ain't drive over here 2 times, stood out in the hot sun for 45 minutes.
Right.
For an
You know what I mean? For an edge up. And he's like, so what can you do? I'm like, my man, I've been doing this for a long time. What you want me to do? You like designs? He's like, oh, you do designs? I said, I'll do anything you want in your head, man. So he's like, I just signed to the Rockets. Can you put the Rockets logo in my head? I'm like, all right, done. So I blaze him, boom, right? He hands me like $500. He's like, yo, man, I appreciate that. You killed it. Great job. So I broke my sister off with half. I'm like, here, you know, you did the braids or whatever. Let's eat.
Yeah.
So I dap him up, we leave. It's like 2 in the morning. I don't think nothing about it, right? The next day, my boys are blowing up my phone. And this is 2008. You know what I mean? MySpace, you know? I ain't even have one at that time. And they're blowing up my phone like, yo, go to NBA.com. It's a picture of Ron Artest pointing at his head, talking about Boogie the Barber in Orlando cut my hair.
Shit.
And I'm like, you know, back then, that's a huge deal. Like, I didn't even have a computer. I had to run to my boy's crib to see this. So now I'm like, wow, this is crazy, right? And this is that moment where that one client, I made that one decision, changed my life. And this is how my life changed. 2 months go by, I get a call. Yeah, this is Ron Artest's public relations. Are you Boogie the Barber? I said, yes, I am. Hey, Mr. Ron Artest wants to fly you out to LA to watch the 7-game series against Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. And he wants you to cut his hair for game 1. I'm like,
that's fucking
is this for real?
That's fire.
She's like, plane tickets paid for, rental cars paid for, hotel is paid for, everything's paid for. Can you make it? Sure, when do you need me? Can you be on a plane at 5 a.m.? I'm like, oh, okay, so this is what it's about. I'm like, bet. I canceled out my book. I jumped on a plane. Boom. Shot out to LA, which, by the way, I don't like flying, right? So here's like a 5-hour, 6-hour flight, right? And I'm shaking. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, but it's also the nerves of what's about to happen. I get to LA. Yo, he got a dude waiting with the sign with my name on it. I ain't never seen that before in real life.
That's fire. That's fire.
Black suit talking about Boogie the Barber. I walk down, I get in there. He drives me to the rental company. He's like, Ron said, pick a car. At that time, Chrysler 300s came out. I was like, I want the Rolls Royce. You know what I mean? The Chrysler 300, right? And I'm pulling up my hotel. I pull up. It's a Ritz-Carlton. And it's like, wow, this is wild. You know?
That's a hell of an experience.
Yo, he calls me. He's like, hey, get dressed. I'm going to come pick you up. Now he's calling me personally. I'm like, oh, snap. Okay. I get dressed. I come downstairs. He's in a white Lamborghini. Mind you, I'm from the hood. I grew up with nothing. Everything I had, I got from the barber world, and I busted my butt to get it. I ain't never seen or sat in a Lamborghini. You know what I mean? The only Lamborghini I seen used to be a Ford Fiero. You know what I mean? With a kit car. So he takes me out to dinner, and everything just changes, man. Life changes, and I start flying out every week to cut his hair. Boom, boom. I'm meeting Kobe Bryant. I'm cutting Lamar Odom and all these different players in the game, right? And then on top of all of that, I'm being interviewed halftime of the NBA game. And then he takes me to Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Oh, shit.
And then
that's crazy.
We do ESPN magazine, you know, and then he flies me out to Dancing with the Stars. And it's like, I'm playing video games.
Love, bro.
Yo,
He's showing crazy love
he's
off
my
of that
big bro. And you know what? I'm playing video games and my haircuts are in the video game.
2K.
Blew my mind. My life was completely changed.
That's fire.
And then from him, yo, this is Carmelo Anthony. I'm in Orlando. Can I get a cut? I heard you're dope. This is Damian Lillard. Yo, I got your number from Jameer Nelson. Yo, this is Jameer Nelson. It just, the list just flew off. And I was cutting so many NBA players. And then at the same time, I'm always like educating barbers and helping barbers step up their game with their clientele, how to build, how to cut. And all these things just came together. And it was like, I thought my career had hit the highest spot, right? With all this success. And then my man Thomas introduced me about scalp micropigmentation. And immediately we seen the vision because we knew this is the future where the barber industry is going, to where barbers can handle both ends of the spectrum. The hair growth spectrum, the hair loss spectrum. When you can handle both ends of your industry, ain't nobody stopping you. You're gonna be able to provide for your family and even then some.
Tremendous way.
And that's my passion poured out for this. And it was like, this is perfect. This is what's missing from what I do. And Thomas brought in his marketing skills, his corporate skills. You know what I mean? I brought in the barber skills, how to place these hairlines, age appropriateness, how to make it look real and natural. And boom, we came together and we've been killing it, man.
That's amazing,
That's
bro.
big. That's a hell of a story.
Thank you.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I did not think I was going to hear a story like that.
You know, it's
I was wondering where you was going to go with this.
And all because you swallowed your pride, dog.
Yeah, and you know, and you're right. You're right. And, yo, people can Google it. Ron Artest Barber, Boogie the Barber, whatever they want. I don't do this stuff for clout. I do this because this just shows young barbers where they can go with their career. I go to these schools and I talk for free. I go to these schools and I give away clippers. You know, I've been blessed to just sign with Gamma just recently. Shout out to Gamma, dopest clippers in the game. Sorry, I gotta keep it real. That's all I use.
Gammas, yeah, I love Gammas.
Oh man, bananas.
Gammas and JRL are my shit.
I buy the clippers myself and give them to the students just because they're so dope.
Yeah.
And I remember when I used to cut hair with Conairs from Walmart.
Yeah, I remember
You know what
that
I mean?
shit. Fucking Conairs.
Right. So
Yeah.
and holsters with no lever. You know what I mean? So when I see these young barbers coming up and their clippers are still plugged into the wall, nah, you going wireless.
Yeah,
The game is different. But yo, I would love Thomas to tell y'all how he was able to take what I do and implement into this and what he does. I met him while I was cutting Bow Wow, and he ended up becoming one of my best friends ever.
Yeah, and then I started a couple businesses, and I built enough rapport with him, and we started this. So everything that he just explained, and my corporate and marketing expertise, this makes this to me personally, and it sounds super biased, but it's one of the most complete and balanced programs in the S&P industry.
Yes.
So you're gonna learn from both sides. You're gonna learn the corporate side. You're gonna learn the barber, the building relationship, the things that you don't learn anywhere else. It's all experience. So
that's what's up, man. That's a hell of a story, bro. I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
From the S&P classes to your testimony, bro.
Yeah.
It's amazing, bro. And I wish I could hear more, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, you guys got all my attention.
Hey,
I mean, we're gonna be at all these expos, man. We gonna bump into each other.
Sure.
That's what's up, bro. I
That's
appreciate
dope,
it,
man. That was a pleasure, man. That was a hell of a story too.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for the
know what?
opportunity.
I want to say thank you to you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, for taking the time out for us.
Absolutely.
And I want to thank Thomas for teaming up with me and us making this possible. And also at the same time, I want you guys to understand that for these cats getting in this industry, man, sometimes barbering is just a way out.
A lot of times, yeah.
It's a way out. And when these young cats realize that there's so many people on this earth, and when you mount the percentage of barbers, it's so little. What we do is a commodity. You have to eat food in order to live. You have to wear clothing in society.
Yeah.
It's part of it. You have to cut your hair. It's always gonna grow. Hair is always grown. It always will grow, and it's always fell out. And it always will.
Yeah.
So what we do, it doesn't stop. So these kids don't realize that they found a career that they can make 6 figures. You know what I mean? And plus.
Yeah.
So I'm just passionate about this. Thomas is passionate about what we doing, and we believe 100% in it.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate you guys stopping by, bro. Hell of a story, like I said. Can you guys shout out your IG pages,
Absolutely.
your YouTube, whatever it is, the names of your business specifically, where you guys are at, located?
So
Go ahead, man.
Thank you so much, man. We're located in Orlando, Florida, East Orlando to be specific, close to Winter Park. You can find us. Our main page is Instagram, so Instagram.com/OrlandoSMP. We're the only Orlando SMP. And we also have a website, OrlandoSMP.com.
Okay.
And then
And then my Instagram is at respected RESPECTED _BoogieTheBarber. That's BOOGIE the Barber. Respected _ BoogieTheBarber.
That's what's
Gotcha,
up.
fellas.
So y'all heard it here on the Groomsmen podcast. Thanks again, Boogie. Thomas, thanks again. Much love. I love the story. It's amazing.
thank you.
Shout out
It's
to
an honor,
both of you
man.
guys,
100%.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
y'all.
Love, fellas.
Man.
Thank you. That was awesome, bro.
Yeah, and I dumbed it down a lot, bro. I had to dumb it down a lot, but one day, bro.